and its breathtaking arts and architecture. It was ruled by the great empire Krishnadevaraya. He was remembered as wise and mightiest in battle. He was also a skilled poet. In his court there was a poet like no other called Tenali Ramakrishna. He was known for his quick witness and humor. One day, the king and one of his wife, Tirumalambal, had a tiny misunderstanding which led to hurt and silence. So the queen decided to seek advice from Tenali. And she started to explain the problem. One time, the king wrote a poem about nature and the beautiful sky, but it made no sense to her. And he decided to the courtiers, but they all avoided her, giving some excuses. So he visited Tirumalambal to seek comfort. He recited, but the queen was so tired from the long weary day, so she yawned, not once but again and again, several times. So the king thought she disrespected him and stormed off without a word. And from that day onwards, the king hadn't talked to the queen. The queen was so worried from that day onwards. Tenali understood the problem and told, Your Majesty, I understood the problem, so I need a clever way to approach this. The next day, the court was bustling with activities. On that day, the topic was the revolution of paddy cultivation. Everyone was giving their opinion, but Tenali stood at a corner, watching them with an amused smile. The king noticed Tenali and called him upon. He came with a plate full of paddy seeds. Bowed with respect, he started to speaking, Your Majesty, these paddy seeds will increase 3 times the yield. The courtiers mocked him, and some laughed softly, hiding their smile. The king's expression frowned, hearing his suggestion, and warned firmly, Tenali, a paddy cultivation is an important thing. It needs to have good care of pests and manure. Tenali agreed to the king, but added a twist. He bowed gently and told, Your Majesty, you are right, but it's not about the seeds, it's about the farmer who sows them. And then he suggested a farmer who has a habit of yawning while sowing seeds, and the seeds unscattered. And the courtiers burst into laughter, including the king, who yawned instinctively. And that's when the king realized his mistake. Somehow, Tenali connected the court's joke to his own interpretation with the queen and the king. And that evening, the king visited the queen and apologized. The queen, polite and humble as ever, asked him to recite the poem again. And that's how Tenali solved the royal quarrel. Through this story, we can understand that wit can solve any problems, including relationship and affections. Thank you.